Very successful showcase. For the first time, the Clout program took a number of young emerging South African designers to an international showcase. This year at Milan, we will have the most extraordinary small showcase, and in this small space, we are wanting to make big magic. One of the components to the Milan stand is a representation of all 10 Hot Young Designers patterns. So the finalists were all incredible when we entered into the last Hot Young Designers competition. In order to bring these amazing patterns to life in a new and profound way, we engaged with the Kakambile beaders. The panels that they've made are circular and they are absolutely exquisite. Beading is very closely associated with culture and heritage in South Africa. And to see the patterns of these young designers come to life in this format is absolutely extraordinary. It's building on the work that Tabisa did last year. She had beaded panels as part of the Milan showcase. And now we have 10 patterns also created an expression of beads in a way that nobody's ever seen it done before. I think there's something really exciting happening right now. Our heritage is being expressed in ways that are not only referencing the past, but looking to the future, looking to ways of communicating identity in a contemporary way. Last year, we had our first Nandos Industry Day at 100% Design. And we asked young designers to submit designs for any aspect of a Nando's restaurant. Could have been a table, a chair, a bench. And one of the 4 winners was Kosi Letaba.
I was inspired by the Basotho culture because I normally visit my family in Lesotho. The concept was based on the culture of the Basotho people and the architecture as well. It
was one of those moments that everybody in the room just kind of, had that response, that goose flesh. That was amazing.
I firstly translated the architectural dwellings in form. Then I also had the pattern, which actually told the story of the Basotho people. The different visual elements in the design was the Basotho hat, which is called the mohoro, which is one of the symbols of the Basotho people, and also the horse, which is a mode of transport for the Basotho people. And I actually was inspired by the landscape as well, because Lesotho is the kingdom is known as the kingdom in the sky. So I had to translate that. As well as the crop. I hold this collection dear to my heart because it is who I am and where I come from. So I wanted to come in the industry to represent myself and my people as well.
Looking at these pieces in the visual, they are very beautiful, they are powerful, and they are complex. The collaboration process has become extremely relevant and important because the manufacture of the young designers' pieces has to be world-class. And with this year's Milan showcase, Kosi Letaba's pieces have been manufactured by V Design Studios. V Design Studios are incredibly well known for delivering extraordinary design as well as extraordinary use of materials and quality of production.
For this specific project, they approached me to assist with the design and manufacture, to make the design workable in manufacturing, basically.
Laurie was one of my role models back in varsity when I knew about design and the type of material that he used.
With this specific project, where young designers, for instance, the Nandos designers, that's why I say apprenticeships are important. They need to learn where materials are coming from, and they need to understand how to design a product around materials. So I think this project with Kosi is very important for him to see, what is possible with certain shapes. These shapes are very beautiful, but it's very difficult to make. So the products we're developing here now for Milan is going to be more collectible pieces until we can refine the design that might be more suitable for not mass production, but that will be more accessible to Nando's.
He looked at the renders, he read the story, there was a connection for him. And he felt that he could definitely contribute to bringing the piece to life and also to add his expertise to this piece in order for it to be the world-class representation of Kosi's vision.
I've learned a lot in terms of like the design process as well, and you have to put into consideration the manufacturing, because here in South Africa we have limitations in terms of like the manufacturing process. So it allowed me to come up with different alternatives in terms of making furniture pieces in different materials as well.
We don't want young designers to be intimidated at this stage by the production aspect. That's something that we are going to help you with. That's something that the design community that works with Nandos, the South African design community, is going to get involved with. The immersive process is really around mentorship and sharing of knowledge and making sure that the system is sustainable, that young designers are not just about the beautiful pieces, about the story, about all the magic and positive. They're also about building a business. And in so doing, empowering themselves so they can earn a living and they can contribute to the economy and potentially employ more people.
Great, thanks, Mali. So good to see that again.
Thank you. Awesome. So just to get straight into it, Tracy, I think just for a bit of background in terms of, when we're talking about taking South African design internationally, it goes obviously beyond the showcases. Because, at the end of the day, it's great to be able to show designers at international showcases like Milan Design Week. But at the same time, in building a business, in building a sustainable business, they've got to keep on being able to supply, to supply a market. So I really, if you could just chat a little bit about the Nandos Design Program, about what I like to think of as this idea of using I think Nandos has some 1,300 restaurants around the world. So if we can chat a little bit about this idea of using these restaurants as a sort of Trojan horse for South African design and taking it to the world, and then building.
Yes. So as many people know, Nandos is a global brand, and there are Nandos in every corner of the planet, which is very exciting. And they have always been wonderful curators of fine arts. They have one of the biggest, or the biggest collection of contemporary South African art in the world, which they've showcased in their restaurants and continue to do so. Incredible program. And when I was asked to be involved, that was what was a big inspiration for me, is if they are showcasing the arts, why not showcase design? So that's how the journey began, and it became a very important project to show the Nandos world what we could do as South African creators and designers, who was out there, what they were doing, and that all came together beautifully in Nando Central Kitchen. And then the big challenge was, okay, now we want to have all of these pieces showcased in the restaurant spaces. So that has been an incredibly big project that has unfolded over the years, slowly building on the concepts to eventually 2 years ago when we launched the Portal to Africa, which is the online shopping platform for interior designers to purchase South African design to include in the restaurants globally. Because I'm not sure everybody knows this, but every single Nandos around the world is a different expression of the Nandos values. So every single one looks different, which gives us an amazing opportunity to include different pieces and grow as the business adds additional casas to their portfolio. So that's been amazing. But then along the way, we also wanted to make sure that we were looking for new talents. And so we initiated the Hot Young Designers program, which meant that we could reach out to young designers and entice them to submit entries of pieces. We've done lighting, pattern, and now we've just announced our bench finalists. And in that way, we are able to see who's out there, what are they doing, and whether they can become involved in our projects. So we also have had last year our first industry day, which was incredible. And it was part of the 100% Design Program. Amazing platform. We had a massive response. And as you've seen from the video, we've been working with Kosi And we've been working with Glorina and Renee and Sianda, and it's been really exciting to draw these emerging designers into our projects in as many ways as we possibly can. I think that's one of the biggest exciting aspects of the project is it's not only creative, but it sees young designers growing their businesses.
Fantastic. Trace, just on that note, actually, I just want to chat a little bit about, you know, like the portal to Africa, and you mentioned it a little bit in your, because a little bit in your chat just now, a lot of people, obviously, because the portal to Africa as an online marketplace is very much industry facing, specifically the people who would be able to get access to it are the interior designers working on the restaurants around the world. There's a lot, I remember from the first launch that you had a couple of years ago, I think, for the portal to Africa. There was a lot of South African design that even as a South African, one might not be able to see that. I'm going to actually just put up a little slideshow from that event a couple of years ago, just for viewers to see the wealth of design that there is. But if you can chat a little bit about the programs and just go a little bit deeper into hot young designers, into the Clout Industry Days, the programs that are in place to ensure that the people on the portal, there's always a new crop of South African designers coming through.
And also, Mali, it's important to draw everyone's attention to our Clout website, Clout SA Design, which we launched during lockdown, which was great. And on there, we have all of our stories. So we've collected all of the stories as we've been developing this program. And there is a wealth of content there, which really shares much of our journey and much of our approach. So as I mentioned, very important for us to have this sustainable cycle where we showcasing, we are helping designers sell their pieces, we're helping young designers grow their businesses, and we also have our business development program, which is focused on working with a smallish group of designers that show amazing promise to help us understand what it takes to build a successful business, and also to help the young designers grow in their practice. So that has been a fascinating journey for all of us. We really need to learn how best to get involved in a way that allows the designers to grow independently, but find support from industry. And that's a big focus for us. Is we really want to encourage other businesses and other aspects of the South African whether it's the design landscape or industry landscape, to get involved, because it is such a rewarding process. And I think when we look at young entrepreneurs, we need to make facilities available to support these entrepreneurs. It's not easy. Having creative ideas is one thing, but bringing them to life and creating a business opportunity from these ideas and creativity is a big challenge. And I think if we are going to see a generation of young, amazing designers and creatives build businesses, they need some support. And I think that's what's also been incredible about our journey is the South African design community, a small community and a relatively new focus in South Africa, very much grown through the likes of Southern Guild Platform and Design in Daba and 100% Design, and all of these initiatives that have been building with us to draw attention globally to what the extraordinary opportunity that exists here in South Africa around creativity. And then obviously the entrepreneurship goes hand in hand. So we're very invested in understanding more and wanting to be very hands-on and involved. And we encourage other businesses to look at these opportunities, because if we are going to see young designers employing other creators, and this also brings to the focus crafters. We have amazing crafters in South Africa, have skill sets that have been preserved for generations. It is so much part of our heritage and our wealth. And by seeing young creatives harnessing the potential of craft and working with crafters to give them access to a different markets is extraordinary. I mean, I can talk to you about this endlessly, but we all know some of the work that Thabisa and Joel has been doing. And and Dr. and Mrs. and just absolutely incredible. I mean, you saw in that beautiful video the relationship that was built between Kosi Lateva and Laurie Veed. And when you start seeing how the different approaches and the way contemporary design can bring other aspects of our young creatives' visions to life, and you add a layer of craft and the handmade onto that, then we are seeing something that we can take to the world, which is absolutely extraordinary and unique. There is nothing like this.
Yes. Yeah, it's incredible. Actually, if I may add to that, I'm reminded of when Thabisa Mjo, who was the winner of the Hot Young Designers in 2016, I'm reminded of that when she worked last year with Houtlander and created that bench alongside Master Weaver Beauty Ngongo from KZN. And I remember that she said that Beauty said to her that she wishes that she was younger, and she wishes she had met these young designers sooner, so that, you know, so she could have harnessed her skills into this kind of like new creative reality that we're handling, that we're dealing with at the moment. And I just wanted to know a bit. So I remember last year when the designers did manage to make it to Milan pre-COVID.
Yes.
and I remember that those days pre-COVID, and I remember that and you worked together with Thabisa Mjo to take a group of local designers to showcase at Milan. And one of the things that came through quite strongly from that was the spirit of collaboration when we take this product, this designers, this creativity, and introduce it to the world. And can you chat a little bit about that, about the importance of collaboration as part of this project, and how that continues with the different designers that you're working with?
Absolutely. I mean, we've had these conversations around this extraordinary collaboration, and what was wonderful about it is Thabisa is an incredible designer, but she's a dynamic businesswoman and she sees opportunities everywhere. I love that about Thabisa. Her energy is extraordinary, and she pushes and she achieves things above and beyond. So when she approached us to sponsor her and be part of this, it was immediately Michael Spinks, that works very closely with me on this project, that is a director at Nandos and is a wonderful supporter and incredible mentor to these young designers. And we were both, well, this is an amazing opportunity, but it's extremely important that Thabisa is pushed to collaborate and to curate other designers, so that we're not only taking Thabisa's magic to Milan, but that she has a hand in taking other designers that form part of her showcase. And I think that's what's lovely about all of the work that we do. We use the word mentorship, and in many instances it is very close mentoring, but often it's really just about bouncing ideas off each other, and they grow and they become more exciting and they become more layered and more in depth. And I think this was a classic example. I was saying in another conversation that we had that it's not, in some ways the mentor implies that there's this wealth of wisdom and then there's somebody that's going to learn from that. But actually I learn, being spoken of as a mentor, I think sometimes I learn much more than anybody, and the younger designers are really leading. So what happens is we guide each other and we allow these opportunities to unfold, and we love the fact that they can absolutely be dreamt up and brought to life with the support and vision of a company like Nandos, which is really incredible. And again, I challenge other businesses to think about the wealth of opportunity that exists in collaborating with young creatives.
You're fantastic. So one of another conversation that that we often have is around the importance of local narratives. It's around the importance of the South African narrative and its potential to be able to, to resonate globally. Yeah. And if there was one thing that I've seen time and time again in the different projects that we've worked on together, it is that the designers who often come through and are supported by the program are designers who are very true to the South African story.
Yeah.
And can you chat a little bit about that, about the importance of that narrative and how it resonates and how you found it to resonate globally? And we're not just talking on showcases. We're talking about the restaurants themselves.
Yes.
About the restaurants themselves. And I remember when we were working on the 2019 issue of the Clout magazine, and we did that article where we interviewed different interior designers about just like how they relate to South African design. And so many of them found it so inspiring. Can you just like chat a little bit about what it is about this story that resonates out there?
Yes. So I think this stems from our, I think South Africans are incredible storytellers. And I think, we, as designers, we're very focused on solving problems, but we're also very focused on beauty. We love to make things beautiful. And we live in the most extraordinary country with the most extraordinary people, and we want to share that aspect of who we are. We want to share aspects of our history that is magnificent, that is focused on eons of extraordinariness. And that is really, I think, where I get very excited when I engage with emerging designers. And they all have different experiences, and they all have this colorful understanding of what's important to them visually, and what's important to them about materiality, and what's important to them about their voice. And I think that's where we start seeing something absolutely unique. And when we take that to the world, I think that's what resonates. The fact that people feel the authenticity and the love and the detail and the potential and the beauty of all of this is just extraordinary. I mean, the skills that are out there around handmade are second to none. And I think that's, I've had that said before from designers from the UK and the States saying, we just can't get things like this easily. So that's our big mission when we are building South African design as a heritage category brand to showcase to the world, that we also facilitate that they can get these pieces. And the portal plays a big role in that. And moving forward, this is also how we would like to contribute to the South African design landscape.
Fantastic. So one thing, if we can chat a little bit then about the sharing, especially with regards to the local market, the sharing of the story through the different platforms that Clout has, and just to brief the viewers a little bit. And so far since 2018, we have done an annual magazine, and in 2019 we also put together a coffee table book, and developing the website and developing the social media accounts. So if we can chat a little bit about those kinds of processes, Tracy, and the importance of that, because as much as we build the businesses, I mean, this is also an inspiring story for South Africans. And it's important to share this story with South Africans. And if you can chat a little bit about the thinking of, behind creating those kinds of platforms.
Well, I think, all of us want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can hear me? Yes. So I think everybody wants to hear these exciting, exquisite stories. And also the work that we do is so visual. And I think the visuals transport people, combined with the storytelling and combined with all the different voices and seeing all the opportunity, shares the potential. So these vehicles become very important as we build the culture of emerging designers and South African design that we believe constitutes a category brand that can be shared globally to share aspects of our heritage. So we do need all of these streams. And I think, both of us have got backgrounds in publications, and we are strong believers in that glossy magazine that brings you the stories, and that you can hold those stories and they can stay with you, captured in that magazine or book on your coffee table and live with you. And you can pick them up and you can be immersed in it. And I think we are of those of those sorts. And then of course it has to be balanced by the online presence. And so it became very important to us because we also wanted to have a platform, for example, with the hot young designers. Where do designers go, or where do young people go to access the information that we're sharing around our latest projects? And Instagram is so immediate, and our website contains all, as I've said before, all of the stories and so on. So, for example, here what you're seeing on the screen are the finalists, incredibly exciting, of our 12 finalists for Hot Young Designers 2020. And the benchmark was launched, and we had a wonderful response. It was a very challenging brief. And so the website and the Instagram feed has helped keep designers up to date with, you know, when are we announcing, when do they need the information in by, all of that. So communication is key. And I think the communication goes a long way to building community. And as we've seen, you know, when you create a community of people that are like-minded, that are all striving for similar outcomes, then the energy and the channeling becomes a force. And really that's, I think, over the years what we've been seeing. Just amazing from our first Hot Young Designers, where we had few entries, but absolutely incredible designers that are still part of the Nandos world and contributing, and now come back to be judges on the competition and mentors, and have taught us so much. And we, you know, we're all on this journey constantly together, just really a privilege.
Cool, fantastic. So just to chat a little bit about what's next, well, about what's happening now, and what follows next, because I'm thinking specifically of the young designer competition that you've mentioned just now. I think recently, literally just announced yesterday, the 10 designers, which we showed some on the slideshow. I would encourage everyone to go to our Instagram page at Clout_SA Design, and if you go to our Instagram page, you can see all the different finalists for the current leg of the Hot Young Designer competition. So Trace, if I may, can ask you to just chat a little bit about what's next in terms of how this next group of young designers are to be supported.
So we will be meeting the designers next month in Johannesburg. We have planned a series of workshops, industry workshops. We like to, obviously, as best we can, work with all of the finalists, and we identify talents, and we see, you know, as we progress, who can be part of a business development program, and how we can onboard these emerging designers and assist them with sharing their pieces with the world. So that's a very exciting next journey. We've done a lot of work with the pattern designers, and many of them have been licensing their patterns through the Nandos world, which has been incredible. For the last 2 years, there's been constant interest in working with these finalists. So the winner will also be announced, which we still have to vote for the winner, but we're excited to see the outcome. And then we will begin a journey of potentially onboarding some of these young designers into our business development program. But for the winner, we will be developing their piece. So we will prototype the piece. We like to collaborate with established South African designers so that we can have a world-class result. And then that piece will go onto the portal, and they will be sold to Nando's restaurants globally. So very exciting journey ahead, and can't wait to share the outcomes on our social media soon.
And then with regards to Milan Design Week 2021, this is obviously everything for 2021 depends on a vaccine or therapeutic treatments, and how the globe in general deals with the coronavirus. But with regards to the preparation that was put together this year and preparing to showcase again in 2021, what can we expect? Are we going with the designers as we saw in the video earlier? Or are we looking to grow that?
That we'll have to share, as we resolve this, all of the information with everybody on our social media platforms and on our website. Nothing is certain at this point, but what is absolutely certain is our journey continues. and we will be showcasing globally in the future. And we look forward to the opportunities that will present themselves. And we have no doubt that what we do and who we showcase will be incredibly well received. And I have a vision that we will be taking Nkosi's benches globally. We've already sold one into the Nandos world that's gone straight to the UK. And the first bench that we manufacture of the winner for this year's Hot Young Designer benchmark will be going to Australia. So all very exciting, and not too many confirmed details on that front yet, but watch this space.
Okay, cool, fantastic. And then we have a couple of questions from our viewers. Thank you. The first thing I want to check is for people outside of, say, the Hot Young Designers competition, how else can young designers who wish to be part of the program or wish to connect to the program, how can they connect, and how can they get in touch, or how can they manage to get their work in front of your eyes?
So I think our industry day was incredibly successful last year, and we plan to have one next year. Again, the platform hasn't been established when it will be, but we will be creating an opportunity for young designers next year to come and present to us. So as soon as we have more details, we'll also post that. If there is somebody out there that would like to share a design that they have been working on and they believe could be relevant to us in the Nandos world, on the website, there is an email address, and they're welcome to send through a PDF. And absolutely, we are always open to looking at new designers, emerging designers, and getting to know who's out there, and also making sure that we bring anybody that reaches out to us back into the programs and other opportunities that we will be working on for 2021.
Okay, cool. And the next question that we've got, I think I can answer a little bit of it, is where is our coffee table book available? This is I'm going to answer this one because I worked closely with Tracy on the coffee table book. The coffee table book was initially put together for an incredible event that we had last year with some key global delegates in attendance, and it was shared with them there. However, what we have done, because of the limited print run of the coffee table book, pretty much every single article in the coffee table book is available on our website. And our website also has 2 links to digital copies of our annual magazine. So, and what's the website? Because we are considering an edition to make a print edition to be available, but please watch the website and watch our social media for those. But however, the contents of the coffee table book are definitely on the website, and you can enjoy them there. If there's anything you'd like to add to that one specifically, Tracy?
I know, I agree. I think if we could make the book available, there are lots of people that are like me that want to hold it in their hands, and we understand that, and we hope to do that in the future. But the content, if you want to read and see and learn and be absolutely blown away and inspired, go have a look at our website.
Fantastic. And then Tracy, speaking of, I mean, taking from that, from the conversation around collaboration, in terms of companies that would like to join in, that would like to support the program, how can companies go about that and maybe join Nandos, join Clout in supporting South African design?
I think it would be great if they reached out to us. I mean, I'm happy to share my details, tracy@leelynch.co.za. If anybody out there is listening and they have a project or something in mind that they would like to that they'd like to draw our attention to and consider having a further conversation, please go ahead and let's chat. We are always open to chatting about all the things that we are super passionate about.
Oh, fantastic. And also, just lastly, Tracy, just to chat about, for those who are watching who may have an awareness of the design industry, but want a little bit of an overview of just how much things have changed over the past, say, decade. And I mean, even more so over the past 5 years, because you and I are a little bit more aware, because we chat to the designers all the time, but just in terms of where we are, say, in terms of where we used to be, in the noughties, can you chat a little bit about the changes that have happened a lot in the local design industry that now we are able to support as well?
Yeah, I think it's extraordinary what I've noticed, because like Malibongwe, having been involved in design publications, when I first started working in the industry, there were some key players that had emerged that were making furniture, like John Vogel, and they were doing incredible work, and they've been there from the beginning, from our beginning of noticing and being enthralled. And in the last 20 years, it is quite profound how this industry has grown. It still is a small industry, but I think its potential is massive. And I think, as I mentioned earlier, with all of the platforms that have been created in South Africa, Design Indaba has been extraordinary for us, and Design Capital and all of these. I think these platforms have shone a light onto the potential, and I think not for the first time, but for the last while, young people are looking at the opportunity, and it's not just about I could possibly be a doctor or a lawyer, or professions that are quite specific. It's about, I would like to do something creative. I would like to bring change. I would like to bring beauty. I want to share stories. And young designers are just going for it. And I think, I've been blown away at the energy of emerging designers, how they just stay focused. And that's what you need to do. Your voice is so relevant. Stay focused. Get out there and reach out. And I think that, for me, is powerful, where it's not just a few designer makers that are architects or industry specialists when it comes to crafting in wood and having engineering degrees. There are many different creators that are getting involved and finding ways to bring their pieces to life. And I think this kind of feisty energy, this can-do attitude, that is what is extraordinary that I've been noticing in the design sector. And I think we need more of that.
So we've got a question coming in. On the question is, sorry, what do you think of the impact of COVID-19 will have on the program? Hearing Lee Edelcourt's talks while she was in lockdown in Cape Town, she expressed inspirational impacts on design. So if I can just expand on this question, I'm just looking at all the different programs, looking at Hot Young Designers, which has already confronted really what COVID means, looking at Clout Industry Days, looking at the business support courses that the program has helped designers with over the time. How will all of that then be affected by COVID-19?
Well, we immediately jumped at the opportunity when we went into lockdown. I was very focused on finding an opportunity for our designer makers. So I designed a series of accessories for the Nandos world, which could be manufactured in South Africa. And they were, and we invited some of our appropriate designers, appropriate in the sense that their aesthetic was aligned with what I was proposing. And we presented to Nandos in the UK, and we presented to the designers, and they absolutely loved it, to the extent that we had some very busy design teams during lockdown, drawing in extra makers and team members to get this big order out to the UK, which has been installed in the restaurants in the UK to help social distancing. It's a series of screens and a series of posts with wayfinding, which helps anybody coming to a Nando's feel safe and understand the where they can sit and where they can't sit. And these pieces are absolutely gorgeous. And yes, I mean, the COVID created an amazing opportunity. Talk Design did an incredible sanitizing unit, which is in every Nando's in the UK. They are, wow, I mean, really beautiful. And I think in that way, we were turning a very challenging situation into something that could actually, you know, be very positive. And we did the same with the bench. We asked designers to consider the fact that at the moment social distancing is super important, and so that their bench would incorporate aspects of social distancing. Or what you're seeing on the screen now are some of the screens and things that you can see in the far back, Dr. and Mrs. and Agrippa's pattern in the foreground. So what was lovely about that was some of our pattern designers earned licensing fees from it, and a lot of our makers, Urban Native, made amazing point of sale screens, and some of the pieces incorporated artworks, creative blocks, and it's all on the Clout website. So it was, you know, yes, absolutely. Designers are amazing and resourceful people, and they like to respond to challenges. And I think exactly right. COVID is a massive challenge, ongoing challenge, and without a doubt, it's important to us to come up with solutions that are not only contribute to keeping people safe, but also bringing more beauty to the situation and making sure that we deal with everything in the most positive and creative way possible.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tracy. I actually, just to add to that, I remember because I had a chat with some of the, specifically for this article that you can go and see on the Clout website, I had a chat with some of the designers, and I remember the designers saying that indeed, a lot of them is kind of helped them to streamline some of their functions, just going through the process, because some of them are used to designing different kinds of pieces, and now with these new pieces, they've had to streamline their companies so that they're able to take on that business, and that made a massive difference, you know.
Yes, I mean, we did challenge some of the designers. They had to produce big volumes, and they had to produce them to the world-class standards, and they had to produce them quickly. Our turnaround was very fast on this project. So when these opportunities arrive, they bring positive for very many reasons.
Cool, fantastic. I don't know if we've got any more questions coming up on the side which we can take. I think we've just got a minute or two left. Okay, cool. Okay, great. Cool. Tracy, thank you very, 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 very much for sharing with us.
Thank you, Mali, for being with me, and thanks everyone for listening out there. I hope you enjoyed it. There's lots more to come, so please engage with us on social media and through our website.
Yes, we'll remind you one more time. Clout _SA Design on Instagram.